think and break me.
Hi guys, welcome back if you've been here before, and if you are brand new then thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you'd like to stick around and join us in all of our adventures. You can do that by hitting the little subscribe button.
You know it is now, I don't need to show you, it's there.
It's just down there, and if you do turn on the subscribe button then please make sure to hit the notification bell as well, and then you'll be notified every single time that we post.
Absolutely, yes.
So it's John's birthday week.
It is in the middle of it, yes.
And so for my birthday week on this day, we did a 10 years ago tag, which I thought was really fun, but John didn't find it as relevant for him as I found it for me.
Because I'm old, and it was more to do with, I think, when you was at school maybe, and then 10 years, because there's not too much difference maybe.
Yeah. So what we've done instead is we've put together some questions that we thought were pretty fun, and we're going to do a random question tag.
Yeah, it's like questions that you might not have been asked before.
Yeah. So should we just get straight into it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. Question number one. Female celebrity you wish was your sister.
Okay, I'm going to go straight in with Fern Cotton. Because then she'll be in with her Holly, I always get her name, Holly
Willoughby.
With her, and they quite good together and it could be quite have a laugh.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Fern Cotton.
Okay. So I'm joining in as well, by the way. I just thought it would be fun and I wanted to answer some of these questions.
Yeah, some really good questions what we decided, so yeah, absolutely.
So I would pick Jennifer Lawrence because I've seen her in interviews. She's the Hunger Games actress. I've seen her in interviews. She seems really down to earth. Like, she's not bothered when she embarrasses herself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that we would get along well.
Yeah.
And she's completely opposite to my actual
great
sister.
film, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could tell us about that, yeah.
I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But she could tell me about it if she wanted. So question number two, how old were you when you learned to ride a bike?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was maybe 5, 6, maybe. I remember we used to live on a big hill near us, and my sister decided she wanted to teach me to ride a bike. I didn't have any stabilizers, didn't learn at all. It was where my sister was holding the back of the bike and obviously getting me to balance, and all of a sudden she let go and I didn't balance and I fell off. But no, it was really fun down a big hill, and so I think I was riding without stabilizers because I didn't have any stabilizers for about 6.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would have been about the same age. I don't actually remember learning to ride a bike. I would have probably been about 5 or 6, but I definitely would have had stabilizers.
Okay.
Because Sophie had stabilizers as well, my little sister. So we both would have had stabilizers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I did fall off my bike, but I don't know if I did as like a little kid. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's a theme here. If you watched other videos we've done this week, you probably would have seen I fell off my bike a lot.
Question number 3, how many different countries have you been to?
We just worked out, and it was 10. Are we naming them?
If you want to.
So
It's obviously England, Wales, Ireland, I don't know if you know that again, Turkey, Greece, all the islands in Greece, Barbados, Egypt, listen to France, and Spain, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to 7, so I didn't really travel on a plane until I was an adult because my mum doesn't like flying, so I've just been to
England, Wales, France, Tunisia, Egypt, America, and Greece.
yeah. Question number 4, would you rather have an American accent or a British one?
definitely American accent.
Oh, I'm
Definitely.
I think definitely a British one.
No, America's got such a better way of saying things.
I don't know. I think both accents are cool, and obviously it's a tricky question. This is why I picked it. Because even in England there are so many different accents going around. But like when I think, oh, the typical British accent was like, would you like a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking, which nobody actually speaks like that.
Or the other question is, would you want a southern, down south English accent or up north accent?
So I would have an up north British accent because that is what I've got. But I do think there's less people in England than there are in America, so less people have a British accent.
Yeah.
So that's why I'd want a British one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah?
Yeah, mine's America.
Question number 5, what's the first amusement park you went to?
This is really embarrassing really. I can't remember how old I was, but it's probably 2012, and that was when we started going out with you, and it would be Norton Towers.
Yeah.
So I only went to a theme park when I was an adult really, and because we never went as a kid, and it would have been Alton Towers. So obviously I was trying to be brave because we wasn't seeing each other then, whatever, but I think my first roller coaster was
Nemesis.
yeah, and obviously I was trying to go, yeah, I've done this, but I won my first roller coaster.
Oh, so
Yeah.
mine would have been, there's a theme park up North Way called Gulliver's Adventure World, or it's just called Gulliver's Adventure World, I think. And it's just a theme park for kids, like it's a kiddie theme
Yeah.
park. And we went with the Girl Guides, and my nana took me for some reason rather than my mum. And there's this one roller coaster there, I don't remember what its name is, and it's a kids coaster.
Yeah.
But it was like a bigger kids coaster, and I was about 5 or 6, and my nana came on it with me, and I remember wanting to go on it over and over and over again, and in the end we must have gone on it about 6 or 7 times, and my nana was like, look, I can't do this anymore, you have to stop. Question number 6, what's your favourite restaurant?
I'm going to cheat a bit. My favourite restaurant's not in this country, so I'm going to go for California Grill in Disney World. Yeah, at the moment, hands down, that's probably the best restaurant I've ever been to.
Yeah, I think that would be my favourite restaurant, but if we're talking like popping out for dinner kind of restaurant, I think I would choose Chiquitos.
Okay, yeah, if you want an everyday restaurant, yeah, yeah, okay. I was going for big.
Yeah. Can you whistle?
Badly, like really badly, so, and it's not in tune, it's only a tune
Are you
that-
going to show us?
It's only a tune that I think it sounds like in my head, so it's not like... No, so no, I can't.
I can whistle. Do you believe in aliens? I told you it was random.
Yes, it's very random. There has to be something else in this universe than just us. If that's, I can't, obviously it's an alien because it's not from this planet. There has to be something other than us in this universe.
So not necessarily like E.T., but
No, but there has to be something if it's more
maybe
into...
there's like a space cow or something.
Yeah, or a cat or some sort. There has to be someone else living that you can describe, or you could describe as alien, but there has to be something.
Yeah.
I think. I think it'd be very short-sighted if we think it's we just did. That's very scary as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like to think about space too much because it freaks me out if I think about it for too long. But if you consider like our universe, like our solar system, and then there are like hundreds of whatever solar...
Yeah.
I'm probably just upsetting all of you science people, but there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of solar systems out there.
Yeah.
And I know that you need like specific conditions for life.
Yeah.
But do you only need specific conditions for life on Earth? Can you have different conditions for
Well,
life somewhere else?
If you're not human, then they might need less oxygen and
Yeah.
the rest of it, so...
But then also there are other planets we know have the same conditions as us.
Yeah.
So I think, like John said, there's probably something. I don't believe that it's like E.T.
I don't think it's a
alien.
stereotype or, you know...
Like a little green
with
man.
little things on their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
But I
Yeah,
think
that's-
even if it's as basic as like bacteria
Yeah,
or
I
something
think
like
it
that,
has to be another living
organism.
something, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys believe in
Yeah, let us
aliens?
know.
Question number 10. Question number 10. Have you ever secretly wished to be a famous YouTuber?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who starts a YouTube channel hope one day that maybe you get successful from it and they enjoy it. I mean, look at David Dobrik's sort of channel.
John loves David Dobrik. at the
He
moment.
has the best life going, you know, and you know, even a half of that, he has such a laugh. It seems like he's had such a laugh, you know, every day, and or just the other ones we watch, what they call Adventure.
Oh, An Endless Adventure.
They're really good, and I think, well, yeah, I think everyone's hope it should be their dream, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily have secretly wished to be a famous YouTuber. However, I would like the opportunities that it does bring along with it. So
Yeah.
like An Endless Adventure, for example, would be more who I would prefer to be than David
Yeah.
Dobrik, but they get to travel all the time for work, but it is still work, so
Absolutely. I mean, it's hypothetical because, you know, it's of course, I think you think, oh, that's a really good life, but no one really knows what that's like until they do it. So it might, David Dobrik, how big as he is, or any Fencer, or even Tim Drucker, how big they are, there are probably some days that they think, oh,
I wish I was a salesman.
Yeah, so it's a hard question to answer, but outside looking into it, maybe it seems to me that they having a good life and having a laugh. So
yeah,
maybe.
Okay, question number 11. This is a serious one. If there was a zombie apocalypse, what would you do first? Now we disagree on this quite badly.
Well, initially in a zombie apocalypse, everyone's not infected with a disease. So there's only a handful of people affected at the very early stages of an apocalypse.
Right.
Because you get bitten, and then someone else gets bitten, and then someone gets bitten, and eventually everyone's been bitten. But initially, there's only a handful of people.
I didn't take it to mean that. I took it to mean like a full-blown apocalypse.
Wow. So if there's initial stages, you would have to, I think, sort of call a good food source. So get as much food as possible, and then go and find a good place to stay and well, you store. And there's quite a lot of places like where we live, so I would definitely head to them to the woods.
Okay, here's my plan. So I'm gonna do exactly the opposite of John, and I wanted to find somewhere. So we do our weekly shop weekly, so I know I've got a week worth of food, so I'm fine. But my plan was to find somewhere secure, possibly with only one way in, one way out, because that feels important for some reason. Stay there as long as I can until my food runs out, because then hopefully, because we live in quite a rural area, hopefully everyone would have wandered off, like zombied off, to where it's more populated.
But then your problem with that is when you're coming out to want more food, then everyone's been affected, so you've got more zombies.
Yeah, but the zombies would have wandered off to where there's more living people, and then we live in like a lot of our streets nearby are old people. Old people always have canned food, so I'm gonna rob their houses.
But then they died in the house and they are zombies.
But there's only 2 of them in each house. No, it's not a bad plan. Let me know your plan. Let me know your plan. Would you be more like John or more like me? I think my plan's good.
No, I think you get yourself in trouble.
Nah, well, we'll see, won't we? Question number 12. Do you believe we can live on Mars?
Well, science says we can, in theory. I would like to think so, and a lot of science, you look at what's going on with SpaceX and that at the moment. So, in theory, yes, and I like to think so. Do you?
I think in theory we can, but I think in real life I don't think we could.
Yeah, it is all a theory at the moment.
It depends, I suppose, what reason we would be needing to live on Mars. I guess
we destroyed this planet.
Yeah, but then what's the difference in living on a planet that doesn't have all of the things now to living on a planet that we've destroyed?
Yeah.
So if we can't live here, what's the difference is what I'm
Because it's a new start, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I think in theory, yes. I think it would be very, very difficult, and I think practically probably not.
Okay.
Question 13. If you could turn back time, what would you do?
Start a YouTube channel when it first started. Like, what's it called? Vine.
Yeah.
So start it then. If I'm being silly, that's what I'm saying, but if I'm being serious, I don't know, maybe stop something like the Great Fire of London, or a plague happening, or something big that lost a lot of people's lives. If you know it's going to happen, you can stop it. And obviously, yeah, something like that may be a really good thing to stop and that. You?
I've got a silly answer and also one that's fairly serious. So I'd like to see some dinosaurs. I feel like that's probably quite dangerous, but I'd like to see what they were like in real life. I kind of want to see if we've got it right, like, because all of our guesswork on what a dinosaur would look like. I wonder if we go back and they'd be like, everyone would look like a chicken, But yeah, so I'd like to do that. But my serious answer is probably like go back and spend some time with my granddad, because he died when I was really young.
So you shouldn't take it like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, but he died when I was really young, and I really got on with my granddad like when I was little. So it'd have been nice to see what he was like.
See, and I feel really bad because I didn't think about that.
No, but
yeah.
But you got to spend lots of time with your granddad.
Yeah.
So, question 14. If you won $1 billion on the lottery, what would you do first?
Well, there'd be 3 things I'd do in the same day. So I'd go and buy a car I love, that I'm really good, a big petrol head. So I'll probably go and buy a Range Rover, top of the range. Then I'll go and buy a house, or try to look at a house, and then I'll book a holiday to Florida, Disney World, in the same day.
Yeah. I would probably...
All in the same place in Bristol.
Yeah. I would probably just have a panic attack, if I'm honest. Like, I wouldn't know what to do. I feel like I would just panic about it.
Yeah.
I feel like it would really stress me out. Like, because you would want to spend the money.
Yeah.
But also, because I think you say that you would do this and you do this, but you wouldn't actually.
Yeah, but £1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion, okay, wow. $1 billion, you wouldn't even scratch the surface with buying a car, house and a holiday, so you know, you would still have a lot left.
Yeah, I still think it would stress me out. Question number 15, have you ever stayed awake for 24 hours straight?
All the time. Yeah, unfortunately that's what I do with work. I think my longest time I've been awake for is about 2-3 days without any sleep. When I've been coming home from my normal job and then getting called out for fire brigade, and then obviously it's back to work and then get called out again. So it's been like that for about 3 days. Yeah, so all the time, unfortunately.
I don't know if I actually have. Like, I've been awake late into the morning or early into the morning, like maybe I had an hour. Actually, I was really ill. Was it earlier this year or last year? Earlier this year, I had a really bad chest and I couldn't sleep, and I was probably up for 24 hours then. Yeah. So yeah, I have. But I was
She's really moody.
So moody.
I can sort of cope on not a lot of sleep, and I'm, you know, it gets 2-3 days, it gets a bit hard, but a day I can do, no problem.
Okay, and the last question we have chosen for this round of questions.
Okay, yeah.
Is, do you love travelling? I wonder. And tell us why.
Of course, I think you all guys will know the answer. We love to travel. Travel, I think my answer would be, the reason why I travel, I think it's the only thing you can buy what gives you back more than anything else. So, okay, you come back from holiday and it's only been 2 weeks or however long you've been for, but you always have them photos, you always have that memory. So in that terms, it's always giving you back, and you always do new stuff, always try new stuff, always experience new stuff. So in that terms, it always give you back more than what you paid out for it, I think. Yeah,
and the world is really interesting. So you can go to, like, when we were young, or when I was young, I was talking to both of us, but it doesn't include you. When I was young, we used to go to France a lot, and we'd go to a lot of different places in France. Yeah. And thinking, like, when I was young, I'd be like, we've been to France. But whenever we were there, we'd go to, like, the chateaus, and we'd go to, we saw the Bayeux Tapestry. And
there's millions of stuff.
Yeah, there's so many things to do that we were learning about without even, like, thinking, oh, we're learning, especially as children. Like, we were learning about the culture and like war and history and just like languages and things like that as well. And I think it's really exciting when you go somewhere new, especially when you go somewhere new, that because you don't know anything, and I think you're the same, quite curious about the world and like the way other people do things and the foods and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, of course you eat around the world and you try new stuff and drink new stuff and experience new stuff. I think, like I said, I'll repeat it, you always get back more than you put in. So, you know, even if it's just France or even if it's just Devon, you know, it doesn't have to be a different country. It can be just seeing new stuff around near us rather than you know, a million miles away.
Yeah, we've made a real conscious effort, like the last year or so, to try and visit more places locally, and we've been sharing some of those with you. And actually we've learned a lot.
Absolutely, it's so interesting, and it's, some of the stuff's on our doorstep. You know, when you look at like National Trust places and that. So yeah,
so that is it for this round of questions. We do have a part 2 coming up. in the future, and we've got those questions and they're really fun as well, so you should check that out when that comes out.
Absolutely.
And we're not going to tag anybody because it's not really a tag, but if it could be. So if anybody does want to answer these questions, I'll leave them down in the description below, and if you do, then please let us know that you've done it so we can come and check out your answers.
Absolutely, it'd be really interesting. It took us a while to come up with these questions, so it'd be really interesting to see your answers.
Yeah, and thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
Take care guys, see you soon.
Bye.